So yeah, today I thought we would talk about these old Kirbys. I've got a few of them on an online auction site. This one happens to be a 562, and I've noticed over the past couple of years, um, yeah, the prices of these just seem to be. It's almost like nobody's buying them, and I'm kind of confused, I guess, because these were so hot. Just a few years ago. People would have been fighting over a 562 Kirby, and now I don't know if it's just the economy or the pandemic, or if all the collectors just collected what they wanted and they're no longer looking for other stuff. I just don't know. But it just seems like the market on these kind of has dropped, and that just that's a little sad to me, I guess. But I just thought I would show you truly how nice this machine is. I mean, I'm only asking $500 for this machine, and I think nowadays, when you go to the grocery store and you see the price of eggs and meat and stuff like that, this would have sold for $500 within 24 hours. 5 years ago, someone would have bought it right up, and I'm just shocked that a machine this original isn't selling. I mean, all the original trim, the handle grip is flawless. It's got and this is the original, I don't know what color you'd even call that. It's kind of a goldish brown color, and this was specific to the 562. The Sanatronic 7 had a lighter tan color. This one's got the proper cord, the white cord with the tan end plugs on each end, and both ends are in great shape. That's the other end. And the cord is flawless. I mean, there's no cuts or anything like that. And everything on this machine is so tight and right. I mean, even down to the rear axle, I mean, there is zero play. I mean, I can wiggle this and it's just tight as a drum. There's no slack there in that axle. Still has the original power switch. So when you turn it on, it doesn't come on until you lift off. And it doesn't shut off until you lift off the switch. Most Kirbys, I have to sand scratches out of these ends here. In this one, if you look real close, there's a tiny little scratch right there. Teeny, it's not deep, it's just real light. And there might be one or two, and I didn't want to take any sandpaper. This machine was so original. In such low mileage, I didn't want to hide anything. I mean, it's just a beautiful machine. Even the headlight wire, I mean, that's the original wire. It's in great shape. The only thing I did replace is this latch here, because those tend to wear a lot on these particular models, and then the head will get loose. This one, I wanted the head to be nice and tight. It deserved to be. It's a nice machine, so I did. And if we take the head off, let me get that loose. I mean, this motor is flawless. The bearings are perfect. It's tight as a drum. There is not one little bit. There's not even a thousandth of an inch of play. There's nothing. It's tight. Flawless, perfect motor. All the switches work perfectly. I did replace the brush roll, as you can see. A lot of the other wear points on these little hooks can wear in the back of these and get a lot of play. These ones are still pretty crisp. Very little wear on those hooks. So it sits nice and tight on the vacuum. I mean, this is just such a tight machine. This pin here, sometimes these can come loose and slide out. This one's perfectly tight. It's pressed in there good and tight. No movement there at all. Sorry, I'm trying to do all this one-handed. There we go. But yeah, you can see when that locks down, how that, originally it would bottom out, and that was a common issue. This would push all the way down and touch, and it just wasn't holding very tight. Now it's nice and tight like it should be. I mean, this thing is just perfect. Even this belt lifter here, a lot of times when you turn these on, these will kick off to the side because they're loose. This one's just tight, stays where it should be. Headlight cap is tight. I mean, I'm pricing this at what you'd buy like I guess what you call a high-end plastic vacuum at like a department store would be like $500. And you throw it away after a couple of years. I mean, this thing would last someone 30 years if you used it every day. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. The motor is flawless. I mean, every screw, the screw heads aren't even boogered up. They're perfect. Every little part of this machine is just insane. And even the original emptor had this little, for the, what do they call that? The odorific, or the, the older Kirbys had a little thing here you'd unscrew and put deodorizer. This was the only model that had the, the machining for it. It just wasn't drilled out. So that's how we know that's the original mini emptor for this vacuum. That is the original bag. The only thing, the only complaint I would have on this whole vacuum is there's a little bit of fade in that bag because it was washed. So it does have some fade in it. But keep in mind, that's cloth from 1962. Original cloth material. So to me, that's not much of a big of a deal, because at least it's the original bag. Under here, these pins that this mini emptor attaches to are perfectly round. There is no wear on those pins at all. That was another wear point on these. Those pins could get flat spots. This one's flawless, you guys. But yeah, again, $500 on auction site. You can see it on there. And that's free shipping. I mean, it'll cost me $75 to ship this, so I'm really selling it for about $425, and then of course the fees they're going to charge me. I mean, I'm going to wind up selling this machine for about $350 to $375 by the time, probably closer to $350 by the time it's sold. And this is a nice machine for me to only be getting $350 out of it. I just think that's a steal, personally. But again, I'm hoping the economy for vintage Kirbys comes back, because it's pretty weak right now. And I just think that's a shame, because they ain't building any more of these. They last forever. And something this original is, you could either collect it and enjoy it, or you could use it daily, and it would last for decades. So let's fire it up and see how it runs. flawless, absolutely. See, it leaves nice carpet tracks. It does have the Kevlar fan, which I think is an advantage. I mean, it's stronger, a lot less likely to break. I mean, this is something that you could use if you wanted to. And that fan will hold up just like a new Kirby will. It's not going to break a blade or anything like that. It's nice and smooth and very balanced. And of course, with the new fan, you got that new pulley coming out where the belt rides. No wear on that at all, which was a common issue on the metal fans. That pulley would get worn and then the belt would pop off. So again, all of that's been fixed. It's like a brand new Kirby. For 500 bucks, I just can't believe it's not flying off the shelf, honestly. But enough of my talking. Check out the auction site. You guys know which one it's on. I don't know if I can mention that site legally on YouTube, so I'm not too familiar with all that kind of stuff, so I'm sure you guys know which auction site I'm talking about. If you type in vintage antique old Kirby or Kirby 562 on the auction site, you'll see it on there. Sitting on an island in a kitchen with tile. You'll see it listed on there. But I just wanted to do a video really showing all of the features of this machine and truly how nice of a Kirby this is, an original. So anyway, enough of my talking. Thanks for watching.